Today we are launching a new monthly segment. It's called Fitness 411. It is the perfect way to get you through hump day. Our partner in this series is the American Council on Exercise, also known as ACE, and with me is Chris Freytag, who is a board member at ACE, as well as a personal trainer, fitness instructor, and contributing editor for Prevention Magazine. Hey Chris, great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here this morning because we often hear so much about exercise. We can't separate fact from fiction, so we're going to kind of do a little myth buster here today. I didn't think you were going to take a test, right? You were like, no test.
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right, here we go. All right, so fact or fiction? If you're trying to burn fat, is exercising at a low intensity the best way to go?
I'm so glad you asked that because that is a myth.
Everybody
thinks you do burn more fat as fuel when you exercise at a lower intensity, but the bottom line is when you exercise at a higher intensity, you burn more calories. The key is at the end of the day, calorie expenditure. How many calories did you expend? How many calories did you take in? So if you only have a little bit of time, then use those minutes wisely and exercise at a higher intensity to burn more calories.
I love that. Okay, so here's the other thing too, and we talked about this a little bit as well. My exercise this morning, I'm thinking I don't have a lot of time, I'm just going to do something really quick, so I did intervals on the treadmill, and I thought, am I doing the right thing? And when I came in this morning and asked you, you were like, you go girl.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you got it, because that's the whole key, is that if you only do have a little bit of time, then do try to work a little harder. But if you are new to exercise, sometimes that's difficult to do, so the intervals is a great way to kind of test that heart rate, to push it up a little bit, and then tailor back and be able to build that base. So go for a few extra seconds. If you're power walking, go a little faster, go into a jog, and then tailor back and breathe. You want to make sure that you're working hard enough where you're breathing through your mouth.
Always through your mouth. If you're breathing through your nose, then you're not.
I always tell ladies and gentlemen, if you're breathing through your nose, you're not working hard enough yet.
Oh,
so
Lord,
pump up the intensity. But at the end of the day, it's about calories. So work a little harder, do some intervals, and burn more calories so that at the end of the day, calories expended, calories taken in.
All right, I want to move on now to stretching because we've always been taught to stretch before we work out. Fact or fiction, should we stretch before?
Another myth.
No way.
Exactly, because you should stretch at the end of your workout. That's when your muscles are warm, and that's when you're going to benefit from the stretching. It actually can be very counterproductive in the beginning of your workout. The idea at the front of the workout in the beginning is to warm up. So think of the words warm up as a dress rehearsal. You want to get your body ready for whatever it is you're about to do. So if you're going out for a jog, then start with a walk, or a slower jog. If you're going out for a bike ride, then pedal a little bit slower. If you're going to dance, shake those hips a little bit. Do some knee lifts. Yeah, do whatever it is that you've got to do to warm up your body for that exercise. Then at the end of the workout, do the stretching. And that's where you hold the stretching. That's what we call static stretching, hold the stretch. So these hip flexors, this muscle right here gets shortened every time we lift our leg or we sit in a chair. So it's important to stretch those out. Go ahead and open up into a runner stretch. You want to keep your front knee just above the shoelaces so you're not pressing into your kneecap, but you're really focusing on the hip flexor.
I do feel it, but I have to tell you, when I do this in the gym and I see other people doing it, 10 seconds each leg, and they're done. And
you really should hold a stretch for about 20 to 40 seconds to get the benefit. So take your time. People always seem to go quick, quick, quick. How about the back of the leg, the hamstring? So you want to just sit back into it, take your time, and just feel that stretch up the back of the leg.
I do feel it.
Use your breath. Inhale, and on the exhale, go a little deeper. So you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, you will always do both sides of your body, both legs. Let's hit the quadricep, which is the front of your leg, and that also gets tightened if you're a power walker, or if you're a runner. So grab that foot and just point your knee down, push your hip forward. You're going to feel it in the front of the leg. Now hold on to something if you need the extra balance, no problem. Tighten your core. This is a good balancing act, and you really feel it. So
I do feel it.
Stretch at the end of your workout.
All right, good. We've got just about a minute left, but I really want to get to this one because I tend to love lifting weights. A lot of people say if you're lifting weights, you're going to bulk up, and that lifting weights really isn't the best way, and you're going to gain weight, you're going to get bigger.
Another myth.
Another myth.
Another myth. And I'm so glad to hear you like lifting weights because strength training is the secret to metabolism for women as we age. So muscle tissue burns more calories at a resting heart rate than body fat. The more muscle on your body, the more calories you churn through every single day. And if that isn't reason enough to pick up a set of weights, right?
You love going like this. I'm like excited. I love hearing that.
So, but here's the deal. You think of a pound of muscle and a pound of fat. A pound of muscle is more compact. It's tighter. A pound of fat, think of it more like a fluff ball of cotton. It takes up more space. So the reality is that muscle will actually help you shrink in size. It tones you and tightens you. However, if you have that outside upholstery, if you have some extra fat on your body.
Outside upholstery, that is the first time I've ever heard it called that. that. Okay.
Saying it nicely. Well, then get some cardio going. You want to shed that fat. So body fat is shed off your body through cardiovascular activity. Burn those calories. Calories expended, calories, taken in. And then do the strength training to tighten the muscle, and you're going to feel great.
Such great information. Chris, thank you so much. I feel like doing the running man on out of here.
Shake your hips a
Go
little
ahead.
bit. Get moving.
We're going to keep our dance party going here in just a moment. But if you want more information on what we talked about today or the American Council on Exercise, simply check out their website at acefitness.org and look for the Get Fit section. All right, running man.